This is Jeremy Attaway with Redneck News, here today with John, the organizer of this protest event. John, my name is Jeremy Attaway. I'm with the Redneck News. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. John, what is your biggest fear as to what's going to happen if gay marriage is legalized in the state of Alabama?
Well, I'm not really as worried about gay marriage being legalized. You know, man's law and God's law are two different things, and we follow God's law. Man makes his own laws, and you know, I mean, we have an obligation, I guess, to do what's asked of us, but we don't have to like it. We don't have to. You know, we follow Jesus, and that's the direction I think we're going to go.
So, if gay marriage is legalized in the state of Alabama, it's not really going to change what goes on at your church.
Well, we're hoping that that's not going to be a case. But what it does is it opens Pandora's box for what could happen in the future. We have a history of over 230 years in this country, a history, a tradition that's worked really well for us as a country. We've become the #1 country in the world. We've had God's blessings and graces on us since the beginning. Why throw it all away now?
Right. Now, so do you think that gay marriage would bring about the damnation of God, or just put a blemish on our record?
Well, I think what's happening is, you know, what we're having right now is a war. This is an out-and-out war. This isn't even about marriage or rights or any of that. It's not even about government. This is about culture. Our culture is being changed. It's been changed, slowly eroded for the last 50 years. And now all of a sudden we're at a tipping point where things are really going to start sliding faster and faster. We just see this happening and we're saying, wait a minute, you know. And you know, I don't have all the answers for all this, but I'm saying let's talk about it and let's work this thing out.
You know, 50% of all marriages in the United States end up in divorce. Do you feel like that gay marriage would cause those numbers to skew, and even further marriages would end up in divorce?
Well, I think it would. I think that'd be a big part of it, but there's a lot more to the story than that. We have so many problems now, it's hard to discern which ones are actually affecting us. We need to really take a serious look at where we're at. You know, one of the problems is voting. How many people actually show up to even vote the will of the people? But we had 81% of the voters make it out to vote for marriage between a man and a woman in a state, but you have 9 unelected officials from the federal government come in and overturn your decision and tell you people how to live. That's wrong.
How do you feel like legalized gay marriage in Alabama would affect you personally?
Personally? Well, I think what it would do is it would affect the way that they teach our children. It teaches that is an acceptable, moral way of life, and we don't believe that that's an acceptable, moral way of life, and we reject that our children will be taught that. But then again, it goes back to the individuals, the parents, on how they want to teach their.
Right.
We homeschool our kids.
Right.
We feel that parents need to take responsibility for their everything, just as the citizens need to get out and vote.
It wouldn't really, like you being a straight man, I'm a straight man, it wouldn't really affect you much at all.
It would affect me greatly. Yes, it would affect. What somebody does in their own bedroom is none of my business. If they want to walk down the street and hold hands, that's none of my business. When it comes to social issues and how we treat our traditions and our culture as a whole, what goes in the textbooks, what goes on, you know, even now, you can't turn the TV on without seeing a homosexual relationship. Almost, it's non-existent almost. And
Will and Grace, Modern Family, stuff like that.
That affects our culture greatly. Yeah. So what we're doing here is asking the Christians to step up, come out of their pews, the pastors to come out, because we really are supposed to have a majority. We're asking them to step up and make a difference.
Excellent. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.